With that, the report of the California State Student Association and their president, Taylor Herron.
Thank you, Chair Monville, and good morning, everyone. As always, CSSA is grateful for an opportunity to give a report and share some updates on behalf of our students. During our most recent meeting at CSU Maritime Academy on February 13th and 14th, so we did spend Valentine's Day together in advocating for our students, our board took one of the final and most significant steps towards the recognition of CSSA prompted by the approval of SURF last year. The board approved its 20th internal policy change and unanimously approved a new constitution, which entirely replaces the previous constitution and standing rules. The new governing documents and subsequent structural changes were crafted with a focus on efficiency, fiduciary responsibility, and effectiveness, and were centered around our mission to advocate and represent our students. Our organization truly has experienced much change this year. In addition to our internal reorganization, our comprehensive and strategic growth plan allows for the addition of a new CSSA staff member. This new position is the Assistant Director of Student Engagement and is our first staff member to be solely dedicated to supporting university affairs and campus-based issues. The staff member will focus on providing support and resources to student government organizations, student programs, and student-led initiatives. They will amplify the work of support services and high-impact programs through system-wide collaboration, connect with students at large by providing access to shared governance processes within CSSA and at the CSU and state level, and keep our students informed on important issues and decisions that impact their educational experience. Additionally, as many of you know, CSSA is beginning the search process for a new executive director, and at this time of substantial change, we're excited to find a qualified candidate who's committed to advocating for students and excited about the growth of our organization as we are. In addition to growing our organization from within, we continue to expand our presence in Washington, D.C. and involvement in nationally based issues. CSSA and Cal Poly Pomona will be bringing a national sustainability initiative to California on April 22nd and 23rd when we host a climate summit as part of the Environmental Defense Fund's Defend Our Future campaign. In collaboration with the National Campus Leadership Council and Claremont McKenna, we're planning a conference that aims to connect both the public and private California higher education systems to a network of universities and colleges across the country who share a goal of confronting climate change, advancing resiliency, and supporting healthy communities. In addition to this nationally based work in California, CSSA will be heading to Washington, D.C. as part of Hill Day and is eager to bring the CSU stories to our legislators on the East Coast. Thank you to those in this room who have made it possible for our students to join their campus's advocacy team. Having a student voice in those meetings is essential to painting the full picture of a CSU education and the experience that our students go through on each campus. In our congressional visits, we'll be lobbying in support of year-round Pell Grants and increasing work-study programs. We continue to be committed to the overarching goal of strengthening the presence of CSU students in Washington and CSSA as an influential stakeholder in national politics and higher education. In the more immediate future, CSSA will be advancing a similar agenda on the home front with our annual California Higher Education Student Summit, often referred to as CHES, which is this coming weekend. Several hundred CSU students will be heading to Sacramento for an advocacy conference paired with a lobby day at the Capitol. In addition to advocating in support of CSSA's 3 pieces of sponsored legislation, one which supports textbooks affordability and addresses issues with access code, another which aims to increase the efficacy of student representation on the California Student Aid Commission, and a third which aims to update open meeting laws and increase student participation and shared governance on each of our campuses. We'll be working hard to convey the vastly unique experiences and needs of our one-of-a-kind student body. As always, CSSA will be a champion of the CSU Budget Advocacy Campaign, which has only increased in importance in lieu of the CSU's reports regarding a sustainable financial model. As the Board of Trustees discusses and considers the various aspects of this undeniably transformative report, CSSA requests that there be continued and even heightened commitment to expanding CSU legislative advocacy, both in scope and size, and to doing everything possible to procure additional funds through the legislator instead of looking to our students to fill financial voids through increased tuition and facility fees. As we head into the latter part of this academic year, there is one matter that is at the center of every effort and issue we face as an educational system: shared governance. With monumentally important matters like the Sustainable Financial Model Report, presidential appointments, a potential faculty strike, four-year graduation rate initiatives, it's more imperative than ever that those in leadership and positions of power are accessible to the stakeholders and constituents who want to be a part of these decision-making discussions. Regardless of whether compromise or even consensus can be reached, we must hear out each other's opinions, we must address each other's concerns, and we must do our very best to answer any and all questions that are raised. Shared governance is a two-way street that requires all of us to do our best to be informed, pragmatic, and most importantly, respectful and kind to each other. On behalf of our students, I ask you to respect us, to hear us out, to teach us, and to empower us so that we too can be leaders and change agents on our own campuses and throughout the entire CSU system. Chair Monville, that concludes my report.